Hello, viewers. I'm SB, and welcome back to Total War Warhammer. No, that's not it. Warhammer Rogue Trader, 40k Rogue Trader. You know what? Listen, you know what game it is. You saw the thumbnail. You read the title. Where I think, you know what? All I want to do is get out of this hold. We made a significant difference down here. We met a weird church. We improved the lives and education of many of our people, I think. And we have been told the difference that it will make. So I think let's leave, because I want to do something else. I want so badly to experience a little bit of variety. Like, it's still 40k, right? It's still going to be the grim darkness of the far future. There's only war. It's going to be bad news. To leave the location, collect the remaining trophies. Yeah, sure. You know what? Actually put those in cargo. Okay. I don't have any use for ration cards at this point. To the bridge. But since we've been on the ship, like I said last time, it's been a lot of very, very similar text and things that are trying to be very extreme in exactly the same way, and after a certain amount of time, it stops feeling extreme and starts feeling like you're being lashed with wet noodles. So I'm hoping that we can get like planetside and start to experience some new ways of things being extreme, and also some less tutorial feeling combat, because it does feel like all of the encounters we've had so far have been very like soft and squishy, and yeah, I just want to get into the game proper. I want to feel like we're in the game proper. So, to Rykad Minoris. We have quests, we have reasons to be here. It does seem like I was interrupted on the way. I don't think we reached it. This better be important. The problem is, we're basically like a mayor, right? We're governor of a state-sized population on this ship, and then on top of that, I'm trying to like play a video game. As the ship makes its way through the star system, a strange fatigue falls over you. Your eyelids grow heavy, and the quill you've been using to draw up yet another order falls from your hand. I never did get my rash treated, I'm realizing. I should have started with that, maybe. You raise your head with a start. Someone else is here in your study. You stand up and stare at the dozens upon dozens of corpses surrounding you. Among their number, you recognize the disfigured and bloody faces of those who died on the ship's bridge, and those you met in your previous life. How is this possible? Where are the enforcers posted to stand guard? Well, it matters not. You are alone against a horde of heretics, risen from the darkness to take your life. As of its own accord, the shard lying on the edge of the desk, the sole remnant of Conrad Voigtfir's weapon, slips into your hand. The metal is searing cold. The dead sway from side to side, closing in around you in a nightmarishly slow advance. I don't think I'm going to try to plead with them. I think that's probably not... Our character is definitely still a little bit more imperious than that. I think maybe it's starting to, like, especially after our adventure through the hold and everything, maybe it's starting to really set in that we are the authority around here, and so I think maybe that's where I fall back to at this point. Kneel before the rogue trader. Your lives belong to me. All you hear in response is unintelligible voices, whispers, moans, and derisive laughter. Anger ignites your chest, and you clutch the shard, which ravenously bites into your palm with its sharp edge. Okay, but a lot of them seem to have vanished. I think I did something right. An unbearably bright light floods everything around, and you find yourself surrounded by groveling minions, their bodies shivering in your mere presence. Your hands no longer hold a pitiful shard, but a majestic and intricate weapon, a skillfully crafted sword with strange, unnerving proportions, a curved design, and an unusual hilt adorned with the image of a closed eye. The eye opens wide, revealing a gaze so ancient and dark that it steals your breath away. You have felt this gaze before, there on the bridge, and the voice that appears in your mind only confirms your guess. The tapestry is woven. The path is chosen. Accept your fate, champion. I am the sword's master, not its servant. Remember that. You feel the sword's immense weight pulling you down. You resist its will for a moment longer before collapsing to the ground to the sound of odious laughter. The strain is such that you fear your back could break at any moment. Because, to be clear, the way she feels about the Emperor and the whole Imperial system is definitely the way that she feels about the Chaos Gods as well. Nobody's gonna really be in charge of me at this point. I denounce and defy all these systems, and she's gonna find out that it's not that easy. But at this point in her life, sort of the anger of having been displaced from her station and everything, what's the word I want here? There's this vengefulness, I think, to her current view that maybe overtakes her sense. Vogue, the first dawn, is hereby woven into the tapestry of your fate. Seek the second dawn in the hands of she who rises above its future dominion. The former aspirant fell, and thus the new one will become the chosen of the Weaver of Destinies. Make mortals serve you as their god, and become the vessel of the edge. You awaken from the vision kneeling next to your desk, clothes drenched in sweat and with a sour taste on your tongue. Your head is ringing, and you struggle to recall those faces and the image of the sword in your hands. Only the deep cut on your palm and the bloodied shard lying on the floor remind you of what just transpired. A foreign presence rises up out of the deepest, darkest recesses of your mind. The cut on your hand burns like acid, and an alien consciousness in your head greets the pain with a discordant wave of barely intelligible voices. I think she still thinks she can be the master of the sword. We're picking the shard up. You reach your shaking hand out to the shard, now slippery with your blood. You wipe its metallic surface and stash your treasure under your clothes, next to your heart and soul forever seared by the great power of the warp. There's a button over here for link my account. Okay, dear video game people, the account I have is my Steam account. That's the only account you're getting out of me. The light glinting off the skull, polished skull of some unknown Xenos makes it seem like the bony face is mocking you. Yeah, I get a lot of that lately. Okay, I don't think any of this other stuff is terribly new since the last time we were here, you know. So anyway, I would sure love to still be on my journey. Where's the elevator's over here, right? Y'all remember when I was trying to fly us somewhere? So yeah, I still am rashed. I guess, do we have a medical officer on the bridge, or who am I going to speak to about this? Probably not any of y'all. I mean, I guess I could talk to Abelard in the sense of just like, hey, Abelard, who's in charge of medical?
Lord Captain.
Let's talk about things that may be useful to me as the rogue trader, like who's in charge of medical.
Captain. I am ready to acquaint you with all the particulars that interest you.
Okay, apparently this is not an option I have.
Lord Captain.
I mean, again, it's basically like a city-state, just like a flying city-state. There's gotta be a med bay, something. Do we have a journal entry for my terrible rash? Here we go. Now our skin is covered in inflamed blisters. We could do the bath thing again. I could have, right? Because we had people who are in charge of my physical maintenance come to us then, I think. Just run around down here seeing if there's like a first aid person or... Yeah, maybe all I need to deal with this is a nice bath. Super weird how hard it is to just like ask somebody though. Alright, to my quarters. And again, this is a little bit of like it where this game seems to be failing at doing the role playing thing. It's like you kind of have to put some effort into predicting the most common things a player is going to want to do and give them some latitude to do them, even if they're not necessarily helpful. And how could they think that anybody is going to get a terrible rash along with a quest that says, hey, maybe somebody can do something about this rash, and not, be able to ask people, hey, do you know who could maybe help me with this rash? I mean, I would like to be cleansed and receive medical attention. Mostly the medical attention part, but I'm very bad at bathing, by the way. Tobias Funke ass. Literally dozens of us. Okay. Yeah. Soothing water caresses your senses. Thumbs up. Grateful muscles welcome the chance to rest. I don't want to see someone from my retinue, but I do want to see someone from the ship's crew. I don't require company and pleasant conversation. I require medical attention. Why is there no button? This can't be this has got to be a pretty normal time for this, right? Relax and close your eyes is just going to end the bath. Before long, you've surrendered the bastion of your body to the bliss of oblivion. That feels like maybe taking it too far for a bath. Troubles, worries, loss, such things do not belong in this newly established dominion of tranquility. There are only the infinite waters of weightlessness, in which, stripped of all things superficial, the mind of Samhain von Valancius drifts in silent bliss, surrounded by blistering rashes. It is a conscious mind. What fills this consciousness? That's a great question. Thoughts of my monumental duty to the Emperor? Pfft. Thoughts of those who keep me afloat in these waters? Who will drown and who will she manage to pull to the surface? That's, I'm managing now a very dense web of relationships. Thoughts about the price paid for power, the inconstant paths through which such power is obtained, and the people and things I will sacrifice for the sake of my supremacy. I don't think I'm thinking about the sake of my supremacy. If anything, I have too much power right now. But as she's dealing with those under her command, it's becoming clearer and clearer, like how everything she does is going to have hundreds of difficult to predict knock-on effects and stuff. The strands of fate are fragile, yet woven together they are strong. Not everyone is destined to see this voyage through to its end, but no one will be forgotten. No, lots and lots of people will be forgotten. That's part of what I was saying. Hey, enforcers, get in here. I require company and pleasant conversation. The first part of which is going to be, where's the doctor? The enforcers exchange a puzzled glance. Do you mean us, your ladyship? Yeah, fucking get in here. Orders received, your ladyship. We will commence relaxation immediately. Okay, bring a beach ball. They didn't bring a beach ball. How are we supposed to... Okay. The enforcers are lean and muscular. They sit down awkwardly in the bathtub, clearly fighting the urge to stand at attention, if you know what I mean. Enforcer Nima says, What would you like to talk about, your ladyship? We await your orders. Yeah, I wish to be fed. Tell me about yourselves. Listen, she's trying to be friendly, right? She wants to. She's fighting the dual urges, right? She's in charge, and she's trying to adjust to being probably more in charge than she's ever been in the past, but also that desire to sort of like flatten the command structure to some extent, make it more a group of people who have interrelated trust and less, the sort of like the cold, impersonal thing that she has grown to hate and that she feels has betrayed her. So, like, does that put me in a position where I'm saying something as silly as your orders are to enjoy some of this food? Now, let me just talk to them about themselves. Do you have any other responsibilities besides guarding these chambers? For hundreds of years, our clan has been responsible for ensuring the rogue trader's safety during times of leisure and relaxation. The enforcer's voice is filled with pride. I guard the bath chamber just as my grandmother did before me. She trained me herself and instructed me in my duties. There are some really rigid lines of dissension going on here. It seems like a very disruptible society. That rigidity can't be good. This bath chamber can be more dangerous than a battlefield sometimes. You could slip on a wet tile, you could choke and drown. If the water's too hot, you could burn yourself, and if it's too cold, you can freeze. Why, there have even been cases where angry machine spirits have released sparks of their fury in the water. And, of course, there have been numerous assassination attempts. The woman stops abruptly as the other enforcer loudly clears his throat. I am afraid to take a bath now. No, listen, it's reassuring to know my enforcers are prepared for anything. And what do enforcers do in their free time? When we're off duty, we train, maintain our equipment, and pray at regulation-approved intervals. If we do have time to ourselves, we might play some Tantolo, and Bran over here carves things out of soap scraps. She nods at her partner, though for the most part, we barely get enough time for rest, let alone leisure. Yeah, Bran, I demand a demonstration. The enforcer looks slightly flustered, but he quickly gets to work. After a little while, he presents you with a bust of the Emperor about half the size of your palm. The Emperor's visage has been recreated with incredible precision and attention to detail. This small carving surpasses the work of many a skilled sculptor. I mean, there's something about, the value of impermanence, but given that this is supposed to be the Emperor, I probably should at least appear to be reverent about the image. I will have it placed in my study. Enforcer Bran is speechless with amazement. His eyes shine with pride. I am not worthy of such an honor. Thank you, your ladyship. Yeah, listen, y'all can relax in here until I'm finished, I guess. I'm gonna go ahead and call up a member of my retinue. We don't have anybody who knows anything about medicine, right? Like, not really. We know first aid. We would consider it a great honor, your ladyship, but please do not tell the Master-at-Arms we joined in your ablutions. Mistress Sourback will beat us bloody if she finds out. Well, I feel like I could just tell her that she's not to do that, right? I mean, this is clearly not getting us where we're going. I'm going to go ahead and finish. An experience worthy of a rogue trader. So now, I have a well-deserved rest, but also I'm still, minus 10% dodge, hit chance, and parry, and those are some pretty fucking important numbers. All you know how to do is put me in the bath. It's fucking crazy that there's probably an entire clan, an entire set of complementary family lines that exists for the purpose of producing the master of the bathtub. Just bananas. So really, the journal really is just as vague as someone on board. Yeah, that's really annoying. It's really annoyingly vague. And it's crazy that I can't just ask for somebody. Hey, you, go get me medical personnel. A technomat. You're like medical personnel, but for machines. Everything's under control, he says. Okay, Generous Denrock. Do you know anything about medical... Want to know more about the people who buy our plunder? Would like to replace the painting of Lord Theodora. Training and stuff. Hey, have you ever heard the name Fiery Reckoning? From what I can tell, it's a void ship of some sort. There was a mention of it in one of Theodora's documents I found. Generous thinks for a moment, pursing his lips in concentration. I am afraid it is not immediately familiar to me, your ladyship. Please allow me a moment. He starts rapidly tapping on the screen of his data slate. I say, House von Valancius did indeed sign a contract with the owners of a vessel with the designation Fiery Reckoning. There are transactions, records of the ship picking up cargo from Kiava Gamma. Well, this is odd. The data log ends there. Apparently, the ship had some interactions with one of the workshops on your industrial world. I beg your pardon, your ladyship, but that is the extent of the assistance I can provide you in regard to this particular matter. Alright, okay, that's fine. Enough questions for now. Hey, Kibella, you live down there. Maybe Kibella knows something.
Dome.
Kibella puts away the dagger she has been using to reopen her freshly closed wounds, because she's a cartoon character. If the Undying One whispers his name, I no longer want you in my retinue. Nope, none of this is interesting. Sorry.
May the Undying One.
Yeah. Because I would obviously, like, the mechanical effect of this thing is quite significant, and I would like to get it dealt with before we leave.
Of course.
Imperial Navy armor, other officers. Thank you for dispatching. Nope, we're not tattling on the guards. Vigdis, you know everybody. It's kind of your whole deal. Connect me to the vessel's main channel. I wish to bolster the morale of my crew. The Voxmaster nods obediently and presses several switches on the device she is holding. It is done, Lord Captain. You address the crew with a rousing speech and hear your voice roll through the ship, reaching even the normally quiet corners of the vessel. When the broadcast ends, you hear distant shouts of approval. 28 XP. Bam. That'll be all for now. What if I just level up enough that it offsets the stat penalties? Right? Okay, thank you. Very helpful. Heinrich. Yeah, none of this is going to lead the right direction. Well, I don't know. I guess let's just go ahead and deal with the planet. I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out at some point. But I really do want to interact with this planet. Maybe we'll even get there this time. Hey, we arrived. Begin scan. 50 XP. Alright. We've added this to the Worlds of the Expanse in our encyclopedia. We have 0 Extractium, a mobile mining outpost assembled in accordance with the Blessed Standard template construct. This small industrial complex can be deployed on practically any world, however inhospitable. The Surf clan assigned to it will devote itself to the maintenance of its sacred mechanisms and the extraction of resources needed by the rogue trader. Okay, that's a cool thing. It's got an Estimar rating of E492 and a tithe grade of Decuma Secundus. Swing down into the starport, and yeah, I can't see any reason not to bring everybody. I was curious how much stuff we were going to be able to do with the planet from the ship. Looks like a simple scan makes sense, I suppose. Okay, our shuttle is being shot at. What the hell's going on down here? The starport greets you with the din of ordnance, and the smell of explosives tickles your nostrils. It is difficult to tell through the smoke whom is firing at whom. Halt! Weapons on the ground or I'm firing! A man in a torn and dirty uniform hobbles toward you from behind the chunks of rockcrete and crumpled plasteel. His cracked helmet is adorned with a crooked label that reads, Sergeant Malgar. Alright, so our skies are in lockdown. The rebels are shooting down anything that flies, and you lot just happen to land in our rear without a scratch to show for it, and on a shuttle like that. Oh, where'd you get it? Stolen from the palace, isn't it? He's visibly awed by the resplendent gold of your transport. Grab 'em, lads. We've got ourselves a rebel landing force. Yeah, try it. Put your hands on me, see what happens. By the holy throne, what is this mess? They're in a rough spot, old man. Go easy on them. Okay. You seem to have fucked up here a little bit. I am the rogue trader von Valancius. Give me a status report this instant. These people who are used to receiving orders, they respond to the direct snap of the chain. With a mixture of awe and terror, he snaps to attention, raises his freshly cut chin like an exemplary soldier, and barks, My mistake, ma'am, at once. The starport's under the control of the governor's wardens. Perimeter commander is Sergeant... A frag grenade explosion cuts off the rest of the sergeant's words. Shrapnel flies everywhere with a piercing screech. One of the soldiers falls to the ground, clutching the remains of his forearm that is now adorned with crimson tatters. Blood is pouring out of the stump, and the soldier's agony is short-lived. The sergeant curses and hastily says an army prayer for the dead. With a rasping cough, the sergeant turns back to you. Pardon me, ma'am. Sergeant Lassie Malgar reporting. My unit's holding the starport on the governor's orders. How may I serve? What the fuck is going on here? Oh, it's unrest, ma'am. Armed rebellions in both the capital and the provinces. First the lower levels sparked, then it went up to the spires. They hit the Vox hubs, the arsenals, the mag train stations. Then Felix tore off his mask, precisely because he knew about the trouble on Rykad Minoris. He knew that none of our allies would come to our aid. Cassia lets out a sorrowful sigh. You may continue your report, peasant. Well, my unit was here when it all went to the Groxes. The tech priests linked to satellites reported sightings of strange void ships in the system. They were orbiting the star until one of them set course for landing on Rykad Majoris. The governor took precautionary measures in order to increase security at the key facilities. Everyone knows whenever something's not right, you better double the warden details. Well, the alarm was raised and we were sent to secure the starport. It's the only reason we were able to hold it. They are crushing us, the scumbags. It's been a whole turn since the last reinforcements came in. We're running low on ammo, and every other fighter is wounded. I don't know how bad it is in the streets, but they'll drive us out of here any minute. Okay, I was late to arrive on Rykad Minoris. I guess I spent some time doing stuff, but I feel like I should... we shouldn't have stopped. We should have been in transit full speed the whole time. I do appreciate this, though. I do appreciate that, like, there is a meaning to us having made other stops first, and this timing stuff is good. I want to tell him we're here to back him up. Do I want to tell him that? I don't have automatic respect for the Imperium, I guess. But I gotta know, like, first of all, pragmatism. I gotta know that if a rebellion is successful here, that's bad for me personally. Secondly, she probably still, from an identity standpoint, she probably still does reflexively identify with the power structure. That said, I'm not going to be like patting him on the shoulder and being like, it's fine people like you that hold the Imperium together. What caused this rebellion? Ill thoughts, ma'am. We've fallen on hard times. The ground keeps shaking. Things keep exploding. People are scared. They've forgotten all about their duty. And that's when those, Empire forgive me, preachers came. They started riling everyone up. Sure enough, we shot a few. They just kept coming, more and more of them. Well, weird. Shooting priests didn't solve all your problems? All right, well, I cannot leave you and your people without aid. Reinforcements will be sent from my ship. I live to serve. The sergeant is so astonished that he only barks out the mandated words of gratitude after a non-mandated lengthy pause. We won't fail, and we won't forget. We'll be praying to the Emperor for you, your ladyship, ma'am. All right. Also, do you happen to know if a member of the Inquisition has come here? Just out of curiosity. At the word Inquisition, the sergeant's face fills with awe. Well, I don't know, ma'am. There definitely haven't been any visitors like that on my watch. You might have to inquire at headquarters, your ladyship, ma'am. Well then, to see the governor. If I may report, ma'am, as long as the rebels keep shooting their damned anti-aircraft battery, there's absolutely no way to shuttle you to the governor. It would have to be on foot, and the streets are dangerous. I have no one to send with you as an escort. I assigned all available troops to accompany the esteemed tech priest to the governor. I'll voxcast orders to them to wait for you, and I'll inform headquarters. They better send out a convoy to meet you halfway. Meanwhile, we'll follow the governor's orders and hold the line here. Inira frowns as her gaze grows distant, as if she is looking through the sergeant. You're a good soldier, but you've got a lot of blood on your hands, both yours and others. You know the same hand that salutes now might falter in darkness. Rank and epaulets won't save you from the bitterness. Pardon me, my lady, but I can't get my head around these fancy words you're saying. I've seen plenty of blood, but trust me, I'll fight to my last drop. Okay, hold on. What tech priest? What are you talking about? Well, a very important person from the Adeptus Mechanicus arrived on the last shuttle before they locked down the sky. He kept on asking whether anyone by the name of Amarant or something like that had recently arrived. Barely answered any of our questions, though. Said he was under no obligation to tell us anything. Well, he demanded to talk to the governor personally, so I had to send a quarter of my troops with him to keep trouble at bay. Interesting. You are a fool. The governor, who is safe and sound in the rear, has left you for dead. I'm gonna refrain from judging him out loud to his face, either positively or negatively. Okay, is the path ahead dangerous? What exactly awaits me? The sergeant sighs heavily. Well, all of our roadblocks are gone. The whole place is in the rebels' hands. The city is almost lost, so no help will come, and we're surrounded by rebels. Watch your step, ma'am. The streets are chock full of mines. A successful logic test tells us his remark about mines lodges itself in your memory. More than anything, you'll need to watch the ground and not your surroundings. You'd rather risk a shot from a rebel or a jittery soldier than experience a few handfuls of lethal frag shrapnel resting on top of some 300 grams of explosive physaline. Okay, so we are required to say one of these three things. So, here's the thing. I'm not in a position to be giving this guy his quarterly review, and it doesn't benefit me to tell him the truth in any way, except that if the truth happens to be, whatever will motivate him the most, then by coincidence. But yeah, mostly what we need for this dude to do is keep fighting and stay strong. As strong as he can. So I think I'm gonna say 1. Three's gonna like goad him into a suicide charge. I don't think I'm interested in that. Alright, you're a good soldier, Malgar. I'll see that your heroism is noted. The sergeant blushes slightly. I live to serve. Another explosion interrupts the sergeant's words. With a sigh of relief, he turns to his soldiers and spits out a booming series of commands. Alright, on your travels you will hear many rumors. Those of them that are deserving of the rogue trader's attention are logged in a separate section of the journal. Some rumors are just that, other times there is truth to them, and in some cases there may be even more truth than that, presumably. To verify a rumor, travel to the place indicated in the rumor's description. While traversing the Coronis Expanse as the rogue trader, you are bound to hear rumors regarding your own deeds and exploits, some of which reflect the reaction of the Expanse's denizens to choices you've made. Sure. Well, we have nowhere to go except this way, I think.
Bow before me.
Are you ready to die?
What are we looking at here? We got quite a few rebels spread out over a fairly large area. No emplacement guns or anything. Do these... I'm not able to select them or anything, so I don't know if these barrels will explode. It would seem to me that they might. So I'm a little leery of using that front area as cover there. And we can't, or at least Samhain can't quite make it to the ship. Yeah, this might be the furthest we go. Abelard can make it even less far. What do we want to do with Argenta? Argenta is certainly relatively tough. This is going to leave not a lot of good cover space for some of our others, though. Do I want to start Cassia way back up here? Probably not, right? I guess if somebody's going to start way back up here, it's Argenta. As much as like Argenta can probably survive a little bit of close combat, I also do want her... she also is the best sniper. The best person to engage at sniper-like ranges. Gosh, initiative is really ugly for us. There are so many enemies. Yeah, maybe just like close to cover. The fact that Cassia can't quite be in the cover here is a little distressing, but I think this is fine.
Here we go.
Alright, my man is instigating some things. A fair number of them seem to be melee range. So there's a lot of stuff we don't actually have to worry about here. So there are 3 rebel gunners who are about to get turns. Wait, no, was I scrolled up? Okay, there's 3 rebels that are about to get turns. This bruiser's going to run forward. This guard's on our side. That guy's also feeling punchy. Then we'll get Cassia. Then it's going to be all of the gun guys. Okay. So people need to be in real cover by then. But Cassia's got a turn. I think I might... What is the range on Bring It Down? 7 cells? Yeah, I might like throw a turn back to her because she can probably just open this dude up, right? Or maybe she'll have a clean shot on some of these people who aren't even in cover. Okay, if she was under voice of command at that time,
Not
which
a
she
problem
will
for
be.
me.
then we get some momentum.
As the Emperor commanded, escape the Emperor's judgment.
There we go, and we get to cook off a ranged weapon dude at the same time. I think it's all good stuff. Furious Recital doesn't seem necessary. I think I'm gonna do this. I think I'm gonna have
All too easy.
someone do that. Okay, I was just testing whether this is how destructible is this, and it turns out the answer is a little bit. I did not mark anybody as my noble servant. I think I'm going to hit Kibella
Suits
with
my
it.
purposes.
And hopefully we can make use of that on future turns. A reasonable shot on that guy, it looks like. His cover is not really holding him down.
Faith without
Alright, just doing my level best to remove as many gun guys as possible from the battle as quickly as possible.
I'll do it.
And then if I run and gun, I can still take a normal shot at somebody. And the range on this weapon is significant.
The Emperor commanded.
Nice. Argenta, you're fucking killing it. You know what? Furious Recital. Even more momentum.
Let's make it quick.
Onward.
Oh, I don't know if that's how you want to do that. Never mind. You're a professional. I should just trust you. Now I really want to see if I can blow up that that barrel. It's awkward for it to be your turn. Well, I guess it's not really your turn, right? We can bring it down on somebody. Let's pass. I think I'm going to pass a bring it down over to Samhain
This, Lord Captain.
so that we can drop another one of these.
Already done. Overseeing was your biggest mistake.
Okay, interesting. AoE dodge. You have to leave the space, which makes sense. That did explode, but not in a way that did any damage. I am allowed to voice of command someone, I guess, but I think I'm just gonna pass the turn. So we have heroic act available. We could probably just gaze somebody. It doesn't have to be fancy, right?
Do not dare ask.
So this guy has all the health. Let me see what we can do there. We can get him actually for 28. That's pretty impressive. And then I think I'm gonna. She can grant somebody a full turn. Who would make the best use of a full additional turn? No, I think I'm gonna hold it to be used by somebody else, and I know that I'm
Out of my way.
letting some of the enemies act in that case, but
Let's get to it.
gosh, there sure are a lot of them. I can't believe they're having an easier time hitting her at the top of the stairs in her sandbag cover than Cassia just standing out in the open. It seems to me like this is a pretty bad time to get cold feet. So charge is at least 2 cells. let's go say howdy to this guy.
I took care of this one. At your beck and call.
Definitely gonna hit that endure. I should have braced for impact earlier.
Indeed.
You know, when I was around more people. And I don't have any movement left, but I do have the ability to fire a single gunshot.
Victory is in one fewer target.
Abelard. Beautiful. Beautiful work. Immediately restore all AP and MP, gains 3 MP until the end of the turn. You know,
No matter the
actually, I
cost.
think I do like him eating the heroic action. He's just going to run over here and just fuck people up.
I'm not interested.
Okay, only 1 charge per turn no matter what.
Tried and tested tactics are the best ones.
Alright, well, we can come over here and we give these guys a hug. Obviously, the Rebel Agitator will be somewhat hard-pressed to
At your beck and call.
take the kinds of actions he wants to take. With Abelard all the way up his butt like this. I can't believe we left that guy at 1 health.
Do like you reduced to dust.
I was really hoping to spend a couple more strikes in this direction.
At your beck and call.
But yeah, that seems like a pretty okay turn. And now we have really, really lowered the number of forward enemies. Now, when she fires Chain Lightning, it's a 3-cell bounce. So yeah, it'll probably hit both of these guys.
But of course.
That's pretty good stuff, except for the fact that that left one of them at 1 HP. I should have put more analyzes up on him or something. Allied, an area within a 10-cell radius. It helps our allies dodge. Wait, did that not? Thought I did it. Dodge area, go.
Anything is.
All right.
Let's get to it.
You know what? I set that down so it's hitting the agitator and not so it's. I totally blanked on which one's which. I mean, the Rebel Agitator still got shot in the back, and Abelard's still doing fine. So I guess it doesn't really matter. Holy hell, you're fast, Cabela. Well, I think I am doing that. I think I am just like getting all the way in,
I am your blade and shield.
and I think we should be able to get a cone of blood onto that dude. So how does this work again? Next single target melee attack splashes blood in a 5-cell cone behind the target. Right. So we want to go
I shall not fail.
this, then this.
Shadows.
Jesus. And then unfortunately the jump over doesn't quite get me where I'm going, but I have 2 jumps.
Trust me. As the tenant of the lady brings you no pleasure.
All right. Spent a lot of resources to kill one guy who probably wasn't very important, but he sure is dead. And now I think it's fairly obvious.
Nothing I can't do.
Yeah, nothing I can't do. Which is why we hand it over to Abelard. I'm sure he'll handle it.
It will be done.
Cut that man in half. Go ahead.
Indeed.
Endure. And we have hit heroic act time again. There's one guy left with 1 HP. Adira,
I am fear incarnate.
this could be your final hour. Your finest hour, not final hour. Sorry, please don't interpret that as a threat.
Be gone.
Ow. I warp blasted myself. The shadows are bleeding. It's all good. Everything's fine. It's all good. I wasn't even looking at the level of warp distortion that we had, but that's is a valuable thing to pay attention to. Okay, a whole bunch of loot. So they had some shock batons. Hammers and maces have a special attack that pushes enemies away. Let me hit the info here. So power swing hits everything except what's behind you. This is a 6 to 11 base damage. Harsh shove for 2 AP pushes the enemy away. Strength bonus cells. Okay. Yeah, that's interesting. Those might be upgrades for some people. We have these shotguns with the rending shots ability. Shotguns knock enemies back when shot at effective range. So 3 range. So I'm assuming it's the 3, not the maximum 7, right? Okay, you have a wider close-up cone. Definitely compelling as like a secondary equipment type for like Abelard. Although again, I guess that's condemning him to only being good at close range. But the shotgun does seem to do a lot of damage. And then the baton has that's 6 to 11. A Mizoa pattern sword, which is a little bit better than the swords that we're mostly wielding. It looks like body gloves and chest plates and flak chest plates. I guess for the moment, just kind of scoop it all up and we'll make some determinations in a minute. Why are we not...
What advice do you seek?
Control A.
It's about time.
It's weird. It's weird that I had to click and drag to move. Okay, looks like standard las guns. Yep. Here's a blind madman. Probably deserves to not be messed with by us right now.
I won't tolerate weakness. Submit. And
Okay.
you'll die quickly.
So these barrels are outlined in bright red, and I think that these are more obviously the thing I was thinking. Just like big explosives. So a thing to be thoughtful about while we're setting up our combat positions. I'm actually going to go pretty far forward. Do we know? We don't have any idea how big the explosion would be. I'm wondering if we maybe want to set up back here and just have them have to come at us through the maze of explosives. It's technically down a floor from... Yeah, this upper layer would be nice. That's tough. It's tough to know where is safe. Alright, she can't reach that. Honestly, you may just have to deal with being in the open at first. They have... Okay, they have a Psyker. Who's going to get a turn early and then another turn immediately? Yeah. Man moves quick. So that also, obviously makes me leery of pushing too far forward on the start. Alright, Cassia kind of wants to be... Yeah, Cassia can deal with not being all the way forward. Cabela, on the other hand, Cabela needs to be up. We'll just try not to get exploded. I do like the enemies kind of remaining grouped up. I don't love this, but she is going to have a great time with these guys. So, raining blood.
I shall
Slash
not
for the
find
splash.
web.
Jump to here. Chop, chop, chop. I'm a little annoyed that I wasn't able to jump to that space, but we can certainly now do our blade dance and get rid of you.
As on our old days.
And then we can jump in and almost kill you as well. Okay. Solid, I think. Reasonable first turn. Part of me just wants to hit that. I mean, I could like move up to here and then fire back in this direction and kill this guy. I probably want to pass a shot over though. Yeah, just have Argenta gun down someone who's holding a rifle.
All too easy. Not a problem for me.
So who looks the best armed? Okay, you have a las gun and you're an agitator. Yeah, I think that agitator might be our first focus. Except we're definitely not going to kill him. There is certainly something to be said for racking up a couple of kills, getting our revel in slaughter going. But you know what?
The Emperor commands I act.
Let's just get started. The camera does terrible work capturing what's going on most of the time. Alright, can I get this angled? Yeah. Okay, so that completely obliterated the cover objects around it as well. Okay, so we got to take these explosives really fucking seriously then. That's what I just learned.
Here we go.
I'm here, maggot.
Out of my way.
Okay, a smoke bomb on top of my unit. I don't know if that's
Show me what you've got.
quite what you were going for. Isn't that gonna impede your ability to harm me? Strange fellas. So, still probably a lot of shooting necessary to bring that guy down. Part of me wants to detonate this, although I'm worried it'll kill someone if I do it. But it is right there. And look at all these guys. Doesn't even have a percentage. It's just like press the button and we'll do it. All right, I think I'm gonna, as inadvisable as it may be.
I'll do it.
Okay, so yeah, that did in fact deal considerable damage to Samhain.
As the Emperor commands, I act.
All right, run and gun. Good news is I did kill one of the others. I'm debating a run forward into rapid fire territory. I guess there's no way I'm gonna be able to shoot around Samhain though. Yeah, all right. I'm going concentrated fire. We're putting down one of these big guys.
I'll do it. Strike is a prayer.
All right. So I only actually hit one target this turn. Furious Recital's not like so great. I think I'm just gonna end turn. I think that guy just shot his own. Yeah, he tried to shoot over his own cover and failed. So even more reasons not to not to use red barrels as cover in this game. So I'll move you over here. Are you gonna have range on these guys? It looks like Psychic Shriek will just barely.
There is movement in the Empyrean.
The laser or the lightning would not have gotten there, sadly. We're gonna throw a forewarning up on our poor rogue trader, and then I think I'm just gonna hold my debuff abilities. Let's see. You have 28. I could. I could throw a Bring It Down onto Abelard and have him charge the Bruiser Rebel, maybe? I'm not sure he'll be able to reach that, but I think it's reasonable to try at the very least. We'll Voice of Command him first for the stats.
Someone else can do this.
Yeah. Not quite in range. Shoot.
Victory is imminent.
Oh, target's too far for slash as well. Well, that's inconvenient.
I'd rather not. I'm not interested.
Alright, well, we can at the very least give Sound the ability to move over a little bit with Brace for Impact, although I sadly cannot actually get to cover anywhere. I can get far away from everybody except that guy. I really wish I had like one more tile. Yeah, just get her as close to safe as we can, and then unfortunately
Someone else can do this.
not actually allowed to slash anything. $13 to 30 damage. The enemy must pass a willpower test. I mean, I guess let's take the guaranteed kill. Oh, you don't have line of sight to that guy. I'm still leery of moving forward. 'Cause even if we're like, even putting aside that cover, it's really hard not to be in a place where a barrel can detonate you.
Drowned in scarlet. I'm not accustomed.
Okay. That's something. So we can definitely have Abelard run up on this guy. Dash through the enemy with an attack with reduced damage. I mean, it's okay. I think I would probably rather just do a normal charge. And I don't think I'm going to kill this guy in one
A
hit.
tactically sound approach. It will be done. An exemplary strike.
Yeah, so the charge has room underneath it for another strike that might not be lethal.
Back and call. Once you a target.
Okay, no, we got there. We got there with an action point left over. And we can endure the consequences.
Let's get to it.
These fights are feeling a little bit better. A little bit more dangerous.
Fear nothing.
Oof.
Fear nothing.
Hold on.
Big explosion, which Cabela manages to dodge around.
Brace yourself, Abelard.
These guys go after Abelard and can't even get through his temporary HP. Is there any point in doing Raining Blood if there's just one enemy? Including the initial target. So yeah, okay. The initial target still gets bloodstained.
Trust me.
And I do so love to bloodstain them.
As the tenets demand.
So chop, followed by dance.
Caught by the web.
Oh, look at this guy. The technique. We still wouldn't have killed him even if he hadn't parried that one hit, but... Well, I missed twice, so actually, that could have been lethal. It'll keep his attention. Hey, Abelard, watch out.
Nothing I can't.
I didn't kill nearly as many of them as I thought it was going to. Great news. Abelard, it's your turn. Hold on, let me give you all of the targeting and buffs.
Not my specialty.
Okay, so
At your beck and call.
wow. Speaking of momentum, the force with which that guy's head flew off. We just rush the soldier and hose him down with violence, right? I don't even need to, I think, do anything fancy. It's just
Victory is imminent. Reduce.
run over there and do /1. Oh, okay. I was expecting more of a... Thought I'd have to hit him twice at least.
Follow my lead. I will do my duty to your target.
Abelard! Jesus! Who still lives? We got one target that we're reading? Ah, Agitator way in the back. Well, I think her turn's done. Argenta, do you have a sniper shot on that guy? You do. It's not sexy, but...
I will not.
Oh, you don't. Never mind. I mean, I don't see any reason to be coy about it at this point.
God Emperor, move through me. Be the fire.
Hey, Abelard, duck. Oh, 3 health left.
Doubt is for the weak.
Just gonna shout momentum into everybody's heart.
Cover me.
Do we have shriek range? We do. We just barely have shriek range.
What?
All right, Abelard, my man, somewhat overperforming. I love the idea that we could just loot the one guy's head and retrieve all of the equipment from it. It was yellow. It was an available interaction. Whenever the wearer deals damage to an enemy, the wearer has a chance to gain 2 movement points. Ooh. Very compelling for both Abelard and Kibella. Probably more on Kibella. Although Kibella does already have a movement ability. Right, she has a built-in 2-point sort of run and chase thing. Okay, we got some med kits, a melt-a-charge. Stuff that we will definitely grab. Or definitely equip. And yeah, I think I'll go through the equipment and, you know, fiddle with people's loadouts and stuff off camera. I think this has been very productive. That's going to be it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching. When you come back next time, we are going to continue murdering just everything that moves on this planet, and also maybe I'll figure out how to put some ointment on my rash. And we'll see you then.